Hello, Morongo Basin, and listeners around the world online at Z107.7fm.com. Here is the Z107.7 local news for Friday, October 31st, 2025. State Route 247, known locally as Old Woman Springs Road, now has a new name. The road that connects Yucca Valley to Barstow will now be known as High Desert State Scenic Highway. The Homestead Valley Community Council received word from Caltrans that the road was officially designated as scenic by the state's road agency on October 4th. The HVCC had been campaigning for the highway to be designated as scenic and was informed of the designation by San Bernardino County's Land Use Services on Thursday. In 1963, the state legislature established the California Scenic Highway Program with legislation that read, quote, "The development of scenic highways will not only add to the pleasure of the residents of this state, but will also play an important role in encouraging the growth of the recreation and tourist industries upon which the economy of many areas of the state depend." The route is now included on the California Department of Transportation's statewide scenic highway map, which also includes 29 Palms Highway. You can find a link to that map at our website, Z107.7fm.com. Halloween falls on a Friday this year, meaning the high desert is going to be extra spooky with locals, visitors, and massive amounts of children hitting the streets to trick, treat, and generally celebrate America's spookiest holiday. Amidst the ghouls, ghasts, ghosts, and goblins, nothing is scarier than intoxicated driving. Z107.7 wants to remind you that whatever you like to get into, if you're imbibing, don't be driving. Be it beer, wine, cannabis, kratom, legal or illegal drugs, or even just too much candy, please think before you get behind the wheel. DUI is a serious offense that at best can cost you more than $10,000 in fines and at worst can leave you or someone you love dead. DUI drivers who cause fatal accidents are now being prosecuted with murder. Our desert is full of long, dark, windy roads, and 2 DUIs in the last few months have led to murder charges. If you're planning to party this Halloween, think ahead and arrange for yourself or one of your pals to be a designated driver. Consider taking Basin Transit or a rideshare option. We're in the high desert, and you can always camp where you are. So whatever you imbibe in, don't be driving. While the fall season can feel like the ideal time to sit under the stars next to a blazing fire, a change in seasons doesn't mean we're out of wildfire danger just yet. Annalise Kuiper brings us the details.
Climate change and invasive weeds mean that fire season can last all year, and there are some fire regulations in place to keep wildfire risk at a minimum. Campfire and burning restrictions on public lands, such as those managed by the Bureau of Land Management or the United States Forest Service, depend very much on the location, time of year, and the current weather conditions. When strong winds are blowing, it is never a good time to have a fire of any kind, as sparks can ignite a fire a great distance away. Always check the California current fire restrictions at www.burnpermit.fire.ca.gov to obtain a valid campfire permit, as well as to ascertain updated restrictions, which will include meeting the following criteria before building, attending, or using a campfire outside of a designated campground. A 5-foot in diameter area must be cleared down to the bare soil, also making sure there is nothing burnable above the cleared area. Have a round point shovel with an overall height of at least 35 inches within easy reach. Burn restrictions in Joshua Tree National Park include campfires, warming fires, and charcoal wood-burning barbecues. Smoking within 10 feet of vegetation is also strictly prohibited. LPG stoves that can be turned off quickly are permitted, so are generators with approved spark arresters, but they must be at least 3 feet away from any burnable materials like brush, trees, or tents. Campers and hikers must carry a shovel with which they can bury a fire. Extra water for fire extinguishing purposes should always be nearby in case of an emergency. There are numerous restrictions on having a fire on your personal property. varying by location and local fire codes. Fire pits must be placed at least 25 feet away from buildings, decks, vehicles, and other combustible materials, and are prohibited when a red flag warning is issued. Burning garbage, hazardous waste, or plastics is illegal. Inside your home, using your fireplace or wood-burning stove to warm the house is prohibited when air quality is poor. For information on web addresses, please visit our website at Z107.7fm.com. Reporting for Z107.7 News, I'm Annalise Kuiper.
Celebrate Halloween at Freedom Plaza with a free, family-friendly Halloween bash. Presented by the City of 29 Palms Parks and Recreation Department and Mojave Moon Apothecary, the family-friendly evening will feature a trunk-or-treat experience for kids. All attendees will enjoy festive games, prizes, and activities designated for all ages. Adding to the excitement, DJ LX Zandra will bring the beats to keep the energy high throughout the night. Admission to the Halloween Bash is free and costumes are encouraged for kids and adults alike, though no masks are preferred. The event takes place today from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. at Freedom Plaza in the heart of downtown 29 Palms. Get ready for a night of costumes, candy, and community spirit at the Boys and Girls Club of the High Desert. They are hosting their annual Trunk or Treat tonight. The fun runs from 5:30 p.m. to 7 p.m., and everyone in the community is welcome to come. Costumes are encouraged but not required. The Boys and Girls Club of the High Desert is located at 56525 Little League Drive in Yucca Valley. And if you're still up late tonight, tune in to Z107.7 at the stroke of midnight for my Scary Music special. We'll be playing what I hope is a genuinely terrifying hour of some of my favorite music and some surprises. Tune in at midnight for my hour-long music special, if you dare. Bring your costumed dogs out tomorrow to the Tiny Pony in Yucca Valley, where I'll be hosting the 4th annual dog costume contest. Sign-ups begin at noon and the contest begins at 1 p.m. Prizes include gift certificates to Tiny Pony and special treats and goodies from High Desert Tales. Those will be given to the best-dressed dogs. Z107.7's own Kim will help judge the canine competition. That's tomorrow at noon at Tiny Pony. State Senator Rosalicia Ochoa-Bogue has announced a town hall event to speak with constituents in Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree set for next Thursday, November 6th. Senator Ochoa-Bogue represents California's 19th senatorial district, which encompasses the entirety of the Morongo Basin. An email from the senator describes the event as an update on legislation and important state issues that affect the residents of Yucca Valley and Joshua Tree. She also welcomes thoughts and suggestions from constituents regarding ways to improve the state. She describes the event as family-friendly and encourages young people to share their voices. This follows her cancellation of a town hall-style meeting that was set for August 21st in 29 Palms. At the time, Ochoa-Bogue's office said that the Sacramento voting schedule ran longer than anticipated. That event for 29 Palms has yet to be rescheduled, though 29 Palms residents can certainly attend next week's town hall meeting. Senator Ochoa-Bogue's town hall will be held on November 6th at 6:30 p.m. at Copper Mountain College. You can RSVP at a link in this story at Z107.7fm.com. Award-winning actor James Morrison, best known for his role as Bill Buchanan on the hit TV series 24, will headline this year's Yucca Valley Film Festival. He will conduct a masterclass on storytelling, creativity, and the art of humility in performance. With more, here's Hillary Sloan.
The Yucca Valley Film Festival begins on November 7th for its 7th year, bringing filmmakers, artists, and audiences together for a weekend of screenings, panels, and community celebration. This year's guest, actor and filmmaker James Morrison, says his approach to teaching is intuitive and based on what happens in the room.
Whenever I enter anything that involves any kind of teaching, I usually wait and see what shows up. I found that that's the best way to go because then you address the needs of the moment.
With a career spanning 4 decades in television, film, theater, and music, Morrison considers himself a storyteller first and foremost. He views storytelling, whether through acting, writing, or song, as a sacred exchange between artist and audience.
What we do as actors doesn't exist without the audience.
Morrison trained in Alaska and New York before earning his equity card with the Alaska Repertory Theater. He later studied for decades with acting teacher Harry Master George in Los Angeles. Morrison also reflected on working with mentors like Robert Redford, who inspired his belief that creativity thrives in process, not perfection. "You're only as good as you dare to be bad," Morrison recalls Redford saying at Sundance. Morrison added, "That's always stayed with me." Alongside his wife, filmmaker Riyadh Galayini, Morrison has produced award-winning short films and the documentary Showing Up, which is used in over 200 university film programs. The actor describes storytelling as a ritual that connects performer and audience. "It's a circle," he said. "Creation doesn't exist without someone to receive it." This will be Morrison's first visit to Joshua Tree in over 30 years. He says he's looking forward to meeting local filmmakers and artists at the festival and seeing what stories the desert inspires. Festival director Matt Burwa says Morrison's participation highlights how the high desert continues to attract world-class talent while nurturing local voices. The Yucca Valley Film Festival will be held from November 7th to the 9th at the Yucca Valley Community Center. The masterclass with James Morrison is on Saturday afternoon, and the festival's red carpet events are open to the public each evening. The Yucca Valley Film Festival is free and open to the public. For a full schedule, visit yuccavalleyfilmfestival.com. For Z107.7, this is reporter Hillary Sloan.
And finally, the Battle of the Bell was fought last night at Yucca Valley High School, where the home team was victorious. The game is a beloved annual tradition, seeing both of the Morongo Basin's high school football teams facing one another. This year, the Yucca Valley High School Trojans shut down the 29 Palms Wildcats with a final score of 49-0. The Trojans are now second place in the Desert Valley League and will move forward in the playoffs. That's our local news. Hear local news 7 times a day, 7 days a week at 7, 8, 9, noon, 4, 5, and 6. Reporting for the Morongo Basin's spookiest news source, I'm News Director Jeff Harmatz.